That was Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin with Whole Lotta Love, coming in at number 38 on Guitar World Magazine's Top 100 Solos of All Time. Just like to take this moment to thank my good friend Sean for loaning me his absolutely gorgeous Gibson Les Paul, because I needed a Les Paul for this one because it's Jimmy Page. And I don't have a Les Paul yet. Send me money on a Les Paul. Just kidding. Don't have a whole lot to say about this one. It's a pretty short solo. It's less than 30 seconds long. Basic E minor pentatonic blues licks. Nothing really too in-depth to delve into here and talk about as far as the solo goes. The song, however, has a long history, a lot of things to talk about, especially Led Zeppelin's thievery of it. Is that a word, thievery? This was originally written as a song called You Need Love back in the early 60s by Willie Dixon and first recorded by Muddy Waters. It was first stolen by Steve Marriott and the Small Faces in 1967. Robert Plant was a huge fan of Steve Marriott. Steve Marriott was an amazing vocalist, and Robert Plant was a big fan, would follow around the Steve Marriott and the Small Faces wherever they were playing. And they didn't get in a whole lot of trouble with Willie Dixon for this one, because they didn't really have a big hit with it or anything. They did not give Willie Dixon credit when they covered this song, but I think it flew under Willie Dixon's radar because of that, because it wasn't a real high-profile song for the Small Faces. Led Zeppelin, when they recorded Whole Lotta Love, was a different story. They were a much bigger band with a lot more money. And in the mid-70s, late 70s, I think Willie Dixon found out about Whole Lotta Love and Led Zeppelin's lifting of basically kind of the main riff, but a lot of the vocals. And he sued Led Zeppelin and won. He got writing credit on the song Whole Lotta Love and bucket loads of money from Led Zeppelin. And he took that money and started a foundation for fellow blues players and songwriters to get compensation when their songs were stolen, and good on Willie Dixon for doing that. Jimmy Page during the trial admitted as much, that he would steal blues licks and blues riffs. But what Jimmy Page said, he said, I would take a blues riff or a blues lick and I would change it and make it my own. And there's nothing wrong with that if you change it enough. And I believe he did with this one. So as far as the music goes, I think it was changed enough that they didn't get in a whole lot of trouble for plagiarism as far as the music goes. For instance, this is kind of the original lick that Muddy Waters played. That part in particular. And Whole Lotta Love. Very close. But then Jimmy Page added the chugging low E string. So he took that, and instead of doing that, he chugged on the low E string, changed it, made something new from it. Totally cool, no problem with that whatsoever. Then he threw Robert Plant under the bus and said that that's what I did. Robert was supposed to change the lyrics, but Robert didn't. He lifted the lyrics from Willie Dixon's original song, and he lifted the vocal stylings from Steve Marriott. Didn't get in a whole lot of trouble from that, stealing the vocal styles of Steve Marriott, but he did get in trouble for stealing the lyrics from Willie Dixon, and they lost that case. And so Willie Dixon now has writing credit on Whole Lotta Love. And, not cool. Led Zeppelin were guilty. They were guilty of stealing a lot of music, but they also recorded album loads of brilliant original music. But I think Zeppelin were more of a band to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission at that point in their career. And they got in trouble for it on numerous occasions. They actually won the recent trial over Stairway to Heaven and the band Taurus, I believe, from the 60s, who said they stole Stairway to Heaven. That melody line goes back into the 1700s, and there are numerous examples of that melody line from Stairway to Heaven throughout history. So, I think Taurus probably lifted it themselves, and then Zeppelin lifted it from history, and that one just goes way back, and I don't think Led Zeppelin lifted that one from Taurus at all. but you know, they were certainly guilty of lifting other things from other great blues players. But you know, and they got in trouble for it. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that one. And got some Slash and Guns N' Roses coming up next with Sweet Child of Mine. I've already got the solo down and ready to record, so I should have that one up in a day or two. Hope you like that one, and we'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Ciao.